So, Russell, what's the impact been for small businesses trying to cope with this very severe weather?
Well, I think it's a great question. I spoke to some of our members both yesterday and today, and what we're noticing is there's two different types of situations. Companies such as retailers or production companies, manufacturing, who require their staff to be on premise, are really suffering because their staff are finding it incredibly difficult, if not dangerous, to actually come into the office. But what we're also noticing is the new breed of technology companies that Scotland's building up such a reputation for. They've got a much more flexible approach with their workforce. So basically they've got people working from home, so they're managing to keep up the productivity in that way.
The Green MSP Patrick Harvey has said today that no employer should put an employee in the position of losing pay in the severe weather, and that's the statement that Nicola Sturgeon backed. Is that possible for many small businesses?
I think for small businesses, the challenge, as for all of our businesses, is about cash flow. And having to incur costs when you're not actually getting any return for that because the people can't be on site can put businesses in a difficult position. But also businesses have a tremendous loyalty to their staff. So I think there's kind of a quid pro quo there, but where the staff are actually trying to help and the businesses are helping the staff. I think what we really have to ask for, though, is for the local population to support those small businesses. So even tonight myself, I was in a local Italian restaurant that was buzzing because all the staff live locally and they were all there.
I mean, could this kind of weather event have long-term consequences for some businesses? Because that's what, 2-3 days now that we've been suffering from it, and things probably won't get back to normal till Monday.
I think it's interesting, and I think it's particularly interesting for the events industry. So if you imagine, if you're holding an event and it was on yesterday or today, you've probably had to cancel that event. So the effects on your company are really quite severe. For other companies, provided we've put the planning in, put in some contingency, we can probably weather this storm.
Nicely put. But there must be some real winners in this situation. You mentioned that Italian restaurant, but I suppose lots of little businesses are really flourishing.
I'm not sure if you can be a winner in situations like this. I think all we can try to do is to support each other. No, it's been tremendous watching on the news, the stories from people who've been up in Scotland and were trapped in the terrible situation on the roads overnight, and really sharing their stories about how Scots got out there and helped them. And that was great to hear. But I think it's difficult to see who could be a winner out of this.
OK, well, thank you for battling the blizzards to come into our Edinburgh studio. Thanks for joining us this evening, Russell.
Thank you very much, Shay.